Hello, everybody,
Hi, it's Mark.
and Michael. Welcome to
Welcome to
Luxurious.
our show. We're glad to see
We're
you.
happy you guys are
Glad
all
to
here.
have you.
Yay. We are want to go over our topics we always do. But before we get started, Mark, what should everybody do? What should they do?
You should like, subscribe, and what else, Michael?
Comment. Make sure you comment. Yes.
And share
Uh,
for sure.
yeah, you share ideas with us, like ask questions. Even say hello. We'll say hi back to you. We promise. Yeah.
Yeah, talk to us. We're here. We want to hear your feedback. We also want to hear your stories too, as well, because we want your voice to be heard. This is what our show's for. So, without further ado, let's get into our topics. Mike, you ready for your first topic?
Yep. So first of all, I have this.
Now keep in mind that these topics are basically we pick them at random. We don't know. I don't know what Michael gives to me, and he doesn't know what I'm giving him.
I don't know.
So yeah, so we'll figure out this journey together. So that's it, Mikey.
Yeah. So okay, first topic was she about a Canadian woman. She gets into an explosion, $10 million car crash, and and she's suing the bar where she drank before the accident.
Wait, say that again.
So like I got to a car accident, and she basically ran to a house and exploded and caused damage to the whole entire neighborhood. So basically, cost like $2 million of damage to the neighborhood. But she wants to sue the bar for letting her drink because it caused.
Yeah, that sounds utterly ridiculous. I think that's
It
saying
sounds
like
very 2023 for sure.
it is. I think also I think our society now we're so happy we'll sue anybody for causing any type of damage to make money. But I think we need to remember to take accountability and personal responsibility. I mean that's ridiculous. You can't just go around suing people because you got drunk.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
if like sue a restaurant because you ate food and then you got into a car accident, it just makes sense. It makes sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, you can't sue a restaurant for being obese. You can't. It's almost like you can't.
Imagine you ate food and you get sleepy and you run into cars, you run into something like what if that it's the same kind of concept.
I mean, same concept is like you can't sue a restaurant for being obese. You can't sue a gas station for going past the speed limit. Those things
Yeah,
it make sense.
makes sense. Yeah, so that was the first one.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So
What you
mine's
got, bro?
pretty cool.
What you got?
Sure. Sure. I got a good one. So mine is Canadians were this year. Canadians were found to have been fined at least $15 million for breaking COVID quarantine rules for the first 8 months of the year. So
Wow.
it's 1 point. The total altogether is 1.5 million. I'm sorry, $15 million for just breaking laws of COVID and not quarantining properly, where you're supposed to stay in within 15 days, and then you may get called by a person of the government and they come check on you. So, Mike, what do you think about this topic?
I feel like it's a waste of time because people aren't gonna pay it. People who are if they're that like in their feelings on how they feel how you feel about COVID and stuff, they're not gonna pay that. So it's like you might as well just forget about that. And it's unfair because I feel like everyone was operating off of their fear and off of what they thought that was best for their own families and stuff. And I feel like you can't really penalize people for that. I mean, you can because you're government, but I feel like ultimately it just they're not gonna pay that. So you might as well just write it off. What do you think?
I think it's definitely speaks to I think people back in the day when people didn't have a lot of information about COVID and about what happened, and definitely people did operate on fear and what not wanting to get sick. Now that we know things a bit better now, I think it's great that we have we're able to actually kind of be more relaxed with the laws and with fines of that nature. But I mean, I could see, unfortunately, I can see the other side of it too, where people just want to be safe, make sure everyone wasn't getting sick too much or getting or dying. So I could see that point of it too.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of like it's really annoying because there's so many things coming out. What's been going on with us with that happened with that. So I feel like people have the right to. I feel like when it came to COVID, it kind of or whatever. I don't know. People would do what they're trying to do. I don't know what else to say. Kind of I don't know. It's a weird situation.
Yeah, it's where I know we had our own personal issues. Me and Mike, when I was trying to come see Michael, visiting and go back and forth, how I had to quarantine and make sure things okay, and I get the frustration of it all for sure. But I know for me and for my house, I didn't want to get fined, so I followed the rules. So,
Yeah,
I think
we all try to follow as best we can, but think about
anyway.
they might have people who have jobs that don't have money. It's like they
That's
at
true.
least
I mean, I know that not everyone has
yeah.
that ability to do that.
It's like
Um,
if you don't have the ability and you're living
yeah,
paycheck and you had to break quarantine to make some ends meet. Like I think you got to do what you got to do. Like can't tell
for sure.
you
I get it.
got to eat at the end of the
You
day,
know,
right?
it also as your family. It also going to see your family. It's like personal. So I guess I get both sides. I get the side of it. I get that side of it for sure. So yeah.
Okay. So how this? Do you hear about this? The that in Tennessee, 5 officers are fired and 3 are suspended after probe reveals sexual escapades, including a 3-way relationship. This is in Laverne, Tennessee, and it seems to be saying that it seems to be the cause is one married female officer, and that she was the one causing all the issue with sleeping with her support her higher ups and
Workers.
everybody else,
Mhm.
and she got a lot of backlash from that, and her husband decided to stay with her. So I was staying with her, like kind of like because they had an open marriage, I guess. So this is my understanding
Right.
of it. What do you think? What do you think of this?
I think there's if you haven't honestly if you haven't seen it, you've been living on a rock. It's been everywhere about this police officer. I
Uh,
think it's sad because like I think police are supposed to serve and protect, not like causing a no. I mean they're not supposed to like
I mean,
be.
she's serving all right. She's serving all right.
I mean she was, but I think it's
It's all right.
you're distracting from the real what really needs to be done. It's almost a slap to the face of citizens who actually pay your tax dollars, where you're actually doing those things at work and you're not doing your job. The more you're not doing your job, if you're doing all those things, you're
Yeah.
not doing your job. But also, I think it also kind of exposes. I think people are trying to make her kind of like the laughing stock.
Hey, go.
I get that. Yeah, I get that part of it, but I think the other side of it too is the other guys were involved in it too, and not just
That's
or
true.
other
That's true.
officers on it too. Not just that, it also from what the stories I read that there were a lot of swingers and stuff that people that are actually in part of the police station that actually were part of whatever she was doing. So it's like it's
Yeah.
not just her that's kind of the person, but they kind of because she's so public got public caught first in public with it. She's the one that's going down. So to me,
Yeah.
I think it's for that instance. I think it's unfair for the double standards of women, and it's
I
also
mean,
unfair
yes,
for double standards of also of people who are not you know higher up in the law because they also were all connected in it. And I know I thought found it funny that most of her lateral coworkers were fired, but the ones that were above her or a bit more tenure, they actually ended up being suspended and staying. So I think that's
yeah.
really kind of fair in my opinion.
Mm.
What do you think?
I think it happens more common than not. I feel like we're gonna hear a lot more about this type of activity going on, and I think that it's just more shock value because it's a police station. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, I think it's really like I don't know. When it comes to it's like that saying, don't poop where you eat, kind of like yeah, it's like one of those things where it's like
Mhm.
yeah, but I know it's your job and you think it's harmless, but what if you like something happens where you don't get you no longer get along with that person, who's like your partner or your person who you on the force, and then something happens where they need to support each other to do a crisis. I feel like it doesn't it causes too much issue than it does cause more harmony. I feel like it's a lot, but I will say this though. I went to YouTube to figure out find more information on it, and the comments were hilarious. The comments were so much. I'm gonna read you a couple comments that people said.
Okay.
I'll get your live reaction. This one said we first go on to the video. The very first comment says, "You got an officer down, taking multiple shots to the chest and face." That's one.
Okay.
The second one says she obviously misunderstood her training and got confused by the command, "Get your knees," and something about head. and then
That's so
um
bad.
and then the last one is this takes F the police to a whole new level.
Yeah, I know that. I heard that was funny. I heard the one. That was hilarious to me. So, yeah, I mean, people are there. I think the internet is so chill. It's
So
so funny.
we'll be right back. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We're back.
Hello, we're back.
Yeah.
We're back. So I think that was the next topic. After that, insightful comment we heard about the officer that was caught in the middle of her people. So
We're gonna take another quick little break, real quick, and we'll be back again. Welcome back, everybody. We're back.
so we're back here. Perfect. So the next topic we have, I know after we were talking about that police officer, we're going to talk about. I want to have another Canadian story here, where actually the Canada Center for Substance Use and Addiction has caused quite the controversy for Canada. Apparently, they reported that last week that no amount of alcohol is safe, and they said those who consume up to 2 standard drinks per week face a low health risk. This decreases moderately for 3 to 6 weekly drinks, and is higher beyond that. Everyone's really upset and up in arms about alcohol. What do you think about that, Mike?
So what are they planning on doing there? What are they planning on doing?
No, they just actually reported that for the most part, the government in Canada or the Center of Substance Use and Addiction states that any more than 2 drinks of alcohol is not good for you, and then anything higher than 6 to 5 a week is you're moderately affecting your health. So everyone's really upset about that because they think that they should be able to drink more. What do you think about this?
I mean, I feel like ultimately it's your body, but ultimately if that's true. I guess if honestly it kind of feels like it's probably true. I'm not saying 100% it is, but I feel like if it is true, then it needs to be said, right? I feel like there's like some of these most uncomfortable truths are the ones that we don't want to hear, and like I could see alcohol being, if you're doing it every single week, you're doing more than 6 or 7 drinks a week, then of course it's gonna affect your health. I mean, of course.
I mean, can we be real here? I have to agree with them. I feel like to me, like it's true. I think to me, like let's just be real, guys. Honestly, like alcohol is not good for your body. The only thing that might be good is like red wine sometimes, and it's good just for your heart and your health. They've noticed that within studies in Italy and in the Mediterranean, where people who drink red wine live longer. So that's a bit different. But I think anything else beyond that, you have to just be careful and just be moderate and don't drink. Honestly, be wise when you drink. I would say like 1 drink a week or maybe or less. I think there's nothing wrong with that. But I think to me, I think our culture and society, especially not just Canada but in US too as well, we're getting too sensitive when people talk about obesity and talk about alcoholism. I think it's important to not try to offend people, but to explain the health benefits and the detriments.
And the rest, yeah. Okay. So my next story is Texas woman runs over her neighbor after a heat debate over their trash.
Wow, over trash.
What do you think about that? Like people with their trash in the wrong area, or maybe like near your neighbor's area, or whatever. They get pissed off and mad. Person got ran over by a car.
No, honestly, Texas is true. No, I mean Texas is not. It's okay state, but I think I feel like maybe it's just me, but why is always the weirdest thing happen in Texas and Florida? It's always the two.
It's like Florida. Florida's the weirdest stuff happens.
Florida's the worst, but I think Texas is really behind it. Right, it's like
really close. Second.
But yeah, I think this is stupid. Like over trash. Like I mean, there's no reason to hit anybody over.
I mean, I guess she told him twice. She told her twice. She told her twice. She didn't listen. I'm kidding. It's never the answer when it comes to like dealing with your neighbors. It's better to like, talk to your neighbors and be friendly and figure things out than run them over the car for sure.
She definitely drove her point across.
Did she?
She drove her point.
Would she go over your argument? Her neighbor's leg, maybe. See, that's wrong. That's wrong. See, another joke. I'm going to the joke. What's the joke I could do about?
That's not good.
You know the other joke. The other joke I'm about to make. You know about training. I'll leave it alone. There, leave it right there. Leave it right
Okay.
there.
So, in unfortunate news, I don't know if you heard about this in California. There's been multiple shootings that have been going on here. So the first one happened last week, where it was I think it was Friday, where it was someone named How Can Tran, age 72. He killed 10 people in the Starlight Dance video. Yeah, apparently it was around the time of Chinese. It's getting to our time about Chinese New Year. There's a weekend of it, and he just killed 10 random people. Police are still looking for the motive, but they caught the person, and he's definitely under custody. So, what do you think about this shooting?
I think it's horrible. I think there's so many shootings that happen so much. We're probably desensitized to it. I feel like the government should step in and actually do something about gun laws. It's really sad. The United States government. I mean, I feel like they don't really do anything, and they expect everybody to like be safe. You can't be safe when people are allowed to have automatic guns at home. It's just ridiculous.
I agree, and I think also I'm gonna go into the next. I'm gonna use one more topic too because it all kind of ties in some way. So you can go two after this. But the other one is there's a shooting at Monterey Park that happened. I'm sorry, there was a shooting actually in Monterey Park. A person killed 7 people. So with that one, his name was Chung Lee Zhao. He's age 66. Attacked a workplace at his workplace in a
Yeah.
mushroom on a mushroom field, and he actually farmed, and he ended up killing 7 of his coworkers. Is they found
Was
3
he
dead bodies first, and then they found 4 more afterwards. So,
was
and
he on
you know,
mushroom?
no, but
I just think it was mushrooms.
no, but I think with this, I think it's sad what happened, but I think not just that. I want to get your opinion on what do you think about the ages? Because the last person was 72, and then this person is 66. What do you think about the ages? Also, after that,
Mm.
I know it's around time of Chinese New Year, and these were like Asian men that caused this. So, what do you think about that?
I mean, I think the age community needs to get together and kind of regroup and figure out what's happening with their elderly and seeing what's going on with like mental health. 'Cause a lot of times, certain cultures they don't really take care of each other in terms of like mental health and I think going from how things were before to now being so different and everything changes so rapidly. We need to make sure everyone's mental health is okay. That's what I think.
Yeah. No, I agree. I would say that I think it's important for us to look at, like you're saying, mental health. Not just that though, but I think also culturally too. I think it's important that we as societies, like we look out for our own, not just for other cultures, but really take a internal look at our own cultures and make sure that people who are our ancestors, our forefathers, not just them, but also our elderly, make sure that they're okay and make sure we do health and welfare checks on them. I think it's really important, especially when if they're working for a long periods of time. Like the last person, he was 66 years old working at a mushroom farm. So like if you think about how I don't know. I can't say to what his life journey was, but I can say that's got to have been something happened where he could have easily turned around. Even they said in the news with that person that he actually had a roommate that actually complained to the police about him being so violent and being very angry. So he actually put a restraining order out against him before this even happened a while back.
Wow.
So I think it's important we kind of do
All the time.
check-ins and also, yeah, and make sure follow up with people, make sure they're okay. I think this also could be there's so many different layers to this because it's not just men I think it's older men, but it's also these ethnic men that are having
Yeah,
these experiences that no one's I think are talking about or are dealing
that's
with.
true.
I think it could also speak to the mental health phobias that we have in our societies as ethnic people too. So
Yeah.
what do you think, Mike? Do you think about that the same way?
I mean, I agree. I agree with exactly the way you feel. I feel like we need to look at more. It's like the mental health of people, and also like when you see signs like that, like if it's a cousin or friend, and you see, okay, well, they're roommates restraining order because they're violent. Like you need to check in on them. You need to check in on them. My life says like so you signs like something might not be right, and they might or they need to reach out or let go of some things they need to talk to, and I think we need to be more receptive to each other that way. I guess.
I
Yeah.
agree.
So my next topic.
Yeah.
So you have the UFC new show. It's called Power Slap
Yeah.
Road to Title. It's when they slap each other, and you know, like we used to
Oh,
watch
I think I have seen this, I
and
think,
they get
online.
knocked out and stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody's up in arms because it's very dangerous because there's no protection or anything. And you get knocked out, and like people afraid they'll get like their head knocked off. So, what do you think about this power slap road to?
I mean, I think it's funny because me and Mike would watch these on YouTube a lot, where people would actually go into slapping contests. I know a lot of radio stations had this at first. Radio stations
Yeah.
would post these things where they have contests and competitions. I
Mhm.
mean, I mean, when you're older, I think I mean, when you're younger, it's funny when you're younger because it's almost like that Larry, Moe, and Curly kind of you
Yeah,
know slapstick hilarity comedy. But then when you think about it's people's lives, people get seriously hurt. I think you should
it's not fair.
definitely, yeah, I think we should definitely just be mindful of that. Not saying you can't have a competition, with things, but I think you should also be mindful of the health and wellness of the people who actually are doing it. I think also we have to be careful because I know I saw one clip of this lady who slapped this other lady, and she slapped her so hard I think her body, I think she went head over feet. I mean, she went her, I mean,
Well,
her head
really,
just went,
really.
yeah. I mean, she fell, hit the ground. So,
Wow.
so it's like you got to be careful, and also I think you can't really expect to. I think the good thing is you can find out is that it doesn't necessarily mean your size. I think the other lady was bigger than her, but it's funny because you would never realize that she was that strong. So
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
a benefit to see that, but people aren't always what they seem, I guess,
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
think that when it comes to that, yeah, we're younger, because it's like your kid, you watch cartoons and you know cartoons glorify violence a bit, right? So you think, oh, it's whatever, but as you get older, it's like I have dental work and stuff. Like I would hate for someone to slap out my teeth or something. I don't know, kind of, or someone slap your nose to get reconstructed. It's like, you know,
Yeah,
and it's one thing because UFC, at least you have protection. You have some sort of thing like you have no protection. So it slaps you in the face, and your brain's up there. Your brain is in your head. So like, if
yeah,
someone slaps
that's
you
true.
too hard or does something too much, it can really not be so good for you. So I think that it probably should not be. It was one of those things, but it shouldn't be around. It's too dangerous. It's way too dangerous, and I
Yeah,
feel like it just doesn't make sense to like, because the kids don't want to do it, and then it's always
true.
it's too much. It's just too much.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, Matt. I agree. So, do you have another topic, Mike? I know
But
I went twice.
that's it. You have any topic?
Okay, well, I have a topic here.
Okay,
So,
but we'll go, first. We're gonna go to commercial break. A commercial break.
okay, we'll be back.
We got. And we're back.
Hello. Hi, we're back. So my next topic is going to be about Simply Juice. I don't know if you know about this one.
Oh yeah,
So
simply like
apparently,
the lemonade and this juice people.
yeah, there's a lawsuit coming out because Simply is being sued for their marketing practices because they said that their products are simply natural and nothing to hide. But actually, a couple things that they are hiding. One is that a lot of people don't know that they're actually part of the Coca-Cola company. The second thing is that the company itself actually has been hiding BFAs inside of their drinks, where BFAs are like the plastics that in the residual plastics stay into your body for long periods of time.
Oh
They've been
yeah.
found that there's trace of that in their juice. So they've been sued for that.
Mm.
Mike, what do you think about this story?
Is it BPA or B?
No, it's BFA. They're BFAs. They're called BFAs, but and BPA is a byproduct of that, but BFAs in general, as a
Oh,
whole.
oh man, oh my goodness, that's so horrible. I'm drinking this. I drink this morning, so I totally understand. That's horrible.
I am too. So
Yeah. So, um, yeah. Oof. I feel like yeah, we need more transparency in these companies for sure. Like and like if you're yeah, I think it's dumb. Like it's like I think yeah, it's just not good. It's not good for the public, and they need to reformulate it and get rid of whatever that is, so people have plastic in their body, don't get sick. I think that's terrible. Actually, what do you
yeah,
think?
I agree. As a person who actually does drink Simply Orange Juice and lemonade a lot, I mean, I thought, and then their drinks are bomb. They're good, but if I agree, like it should be something where it's transparent. I think also that, I mean, it goes to show too that you don't really know what you're putting into your body sometimes, even though you
Yeah.
you may have the best intentions and you may want to have the best things put in your body. I think we just want to minimize that as much as possible. I feel like so that's why it's important to be transparent and let us know.
I mean, we gotta stop these companies putting fix a flat in our drinks and Windex.
All right. And also, you took a sip and it's on you have a BBL.
BBL. Exactly. Is that it for your topics for today?
I have one last one.
Okay.
So the last one I have is so it's a pretty cool one. The fast food laws that are heading to California is coming up on the next ballot for us. In California, they're establishing a council to set an industry-wide health and safety standard to set fast food minimum wage as high as $22 an hour and also offer benefits. What do you think about this?
That's amazing. That needs that's be happening all over the United States. I feel like fast food workers, especially now with them getting. You saw. I told you happened to the girl who almost got kidnapped.
No.
Yeah. This one. Yeah, this one guy got kidnapped from the drive-through. People getting beat up and being shot and stuff. Give them their money, please. Give them their money, please. It's ridiculous. They're paying enough for all that.
Give them their things, please. Give them their things.
Yes. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think California is interesting in a way because we have our own kind of laws and standards that kind of set the precedent for, I feel like, for all the other states. Don't be wrong. Me and my brother lived in the East Coast for a long time, but I feel like California is always kind of on the cusp of having things that make sense for laws. So I think this actually makes sense. I think as far as people actually who serve us, they deserve to get paid better. And I'm not just that they need to be able to make a living wage, and I think $22 an hour is perfect for starting at that.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah, fighting people over cheeseburgers and stuff in the drive-through. It's like pay the people their money.
Right. It's like they have to get paid off World Star to fight rather than their own paychecks.
Exactly. And off TikTok for going viral.
And that's what's about Waffle House. I mean,
Waffle House. It's all about the fight. It's all about the
fight. Have you seen that there's a person, I don't know where it came from, but it's viral with this person. They said we are at Waffle House. They did a mock kind of interview, and they showed them like learning how to fight and fist fight.
No, you see that. Now you see what the fight they had Waffle House was one through a chair and the girl caught it in midair.
Yeah, with her hand, with one hand.
She caught the chair midair.
She caught it.
It's ridiculous. Anyway, that's ridiculous. But anyway, that's it for our show for today. We really had a good time hanging out with you guys.
Yes. Thanks for talking to us. We enjoyed.
And don't forget to subscribe, to like, to comment, ask questions. Maybe we'll have you on our show. We'll see.
You never know.
You never know. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.